Good afternoon, folks. Just thought I'd check in with anybody who watches so you know what I've been doing. I had my first problem with the tractor, and wasn't really the tractor's fault. What it was, I was out here mowing over some leaves, just kind of cut them up, and it started sputtering. So, well, that's, you know, I didn't run over any deep pile or anything like that. Why should it sputter? And it straightened out and went for a few more minutes, started sputtering again. Hey, what is this? Like it was losing power and RPM. And so I cut the mower deck off, and it seemed all right. Well, let me start up again. So started up again, went good for a little while, and it went good the rest of the day. So I said, well, maybe it was just, one of them things. I don't know. So a couple of days later, I'm out back using the tractor again, and it starts sputtering more. Only this time it started sputtering. Oh, goody. Probably a telemarketer. Just a second. Okay, where was I? Had some sputtering, and got worse and worse. And it got so bad it wouldn't even idle without choking off. So it seemed like a fuel problem. So first thing I thought, well, maybe my fuel filters are clogged or something like that. And yeah, that was the problem. Better than having a bad fuel pump. But anyways, there's an inline filter under the floorboard here, and I was hoping I was going to be able to get the deck off so I could get up under and work on it, but I couldn't even get it to run long enough so I could go out and take the deck off. That's how bad it was. So I lowered the deck, got it lowered, and I had to fumble around under there, and I finally got it swapped out. And I also swapped out the one over here. That was easy, no problem there. And while I had the filter out, I drained all the fuel that was in there left. That's another story I'll get to in a minute. I had it mostly empty. And anyways, I poured some fresh fuel in there and let it run out. I didn't get any debris out or anything like that. And I didn't see any debris in the filter. It was just the paper in the filter was saturated with something, and it was completely stopped up. It was just, fuel was just barely dribbling out of it when I got the hose off. And so anyways, to get to the other part of the story, I had like about a half a tank to 3/4 of a tank when I started, and I didn't want to try draining all that out. So I thought, well, I'll just siphon it out, up here. So I go to Harbor Freight, first mistake. But anyways, I go to Harbor Freight, and and I bought this siphon hose. And I figured, well, this is Harbor Freight, and it's $2.99. What have I got to lose? If I can just get it to work once, that's all I care about. I couldn't even get it to work once. It's so bad. I even cut my finger on the jagged end of these clamps. Anyways, I'm sitting there, and pumping as fast as I can, I'm getting a hand cramp, and I ain't got no fuel up in there yet. So anyways, I got this at Harbor Freight too, and I bought it at the same time. And I don't know, maybe it was a gut feeling, or I've used siphon hoses in the past, and yeah, they'll siphon, but it ain't exactly fast. It just kind of runs out at its own pace. And I figured this pump might do it a little faster. And now this worked. It was okay. And I got almost all the fuel pumped out. And this is the hoses that comes with it. And it comes with some of these other accessories here. And but anyways, this thing, first I threw it in the garbage after I got mad with it. And then I fished it back out, and I figured, well, if nothing else, I might be able to use this tubing and clamps for something or other. When I get this off, I'm curious. You know, I couldn't even get a vacuum by holding a finger over one end and squeezing it on either end. I couldn't even get a vacuum. No wonder it didn't work. So either that thing, you know, normally they're supposed to have like a one-way diaphragm or something in there, so when you squeeze the air out and then you know, it closes off, so when you let go of it, it'll suck some fuel up the other side. And even, I don't know if it would work if you primed it or not, but I ain't about to sit there and try to pour diesel fuel down the thing and get it primed. If that would even help, I don't know. Screw it. But this worked. That worked good. Now it may not work the next time I use it. I don't know if the diesel fuel is gonna, you know, degrade the seals and stuff in it or not. I don't know, but it was $6.99, so I didn't lose a fortune. But I'm curious. I'm going to cut this thing open and see if there's even a diaphragm in it. If it's just a straight bulb, then talk about a major ripoff. But I'm going to turn the camera off while I dissect this thing and see what's in there. Alright, well, here's what we got. We got the fuel bulb here, and it's just a bulb, nothing in it. However, there is an excuse for a valve on the ends of the two hoses that went on either end, and they're supposed to flop back and forth. When it gets in one direction like that, it lets fluid pass, and when it's like that, it's supposed to close it off, and it's like that on both ends. Well, that junk ain't worth a crap. Maybe it would work if you primed it, I don't know, but I can see why it didn't work. There ain't enough air flow when you're just squeezing the bulb like that to get them things to move back and forth. So like I said, maybe it works when it's full of fluid, but if it's full of fluid, I got no use for it if it works that bad, because I've had Siphon pumps in the past and I never had to prime them. Just stick them in there and pump them, and it would suck enough air, you know, pressure there, and it, you know, I never had no problem before. This is just a piece of junk in my opinion. So bye fuel bulb, see ya. Alright, also on my trailer, I painted these boards. They were looking faded and starting to turn gray, and I didn't like the way they looked, and I thought I'd get some more deck stain and put on there. And I said, you know what, I got some paint I've been painting fence with. I'm just going to paint the dang thing. So I painted it with latex. Now we'll see how long it lasts, but I can slap more paint on there if it starts wearing off. I think it looks alright. So there you have it, and there's some fence I'm painting now. It's finally got a warm day, and I was able to get out here and start working. Got some fence I need to replace. It's getting rotted, wore out. So there you have it. Shop looks like a big fat mess, but it's been cold, so I haven't felt like coming out here and cleaning up. Well, see you next time. I guess I better add, in case you were wondering, well, that dope didn't put any stabilizer in the fuel. Yeah, I've been putting stabilizer in the fuel. So I don't know what the problem is. If it, I don't think it's been cold enough for the diesel to gel up. I mean, it's possible, I guess, but I don't think, maybe that was it. I don't know. But yeah, I've been using Stable for diesel, so I thought I had that taken care of. But I went to a different station to get the fuel I'm using now in case that was a problem. Maybe it had something in it, algae microbes or something. I don't know. And also not affiliated at all with these folks, but went to Tractor Supply and got some of this Power Service Clear Diesel fuel and tank cleaner, and says removes water and slime to prevent fuel filter failures. So that's what I put in there now. All right, see ya.